So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Look away. Storms coming, so you guys start running. No, you can't control it. My bones are covered. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I never kissed the rain. Ice runs in my veins. Won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I come to take it all. I take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. Storms coming, so you guys start running. No, you can't control it. My bones are covered. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss to the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest hitter. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Damn, I'll still last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today.
There we go. And audio. It took me a minute to find the right scene to click on. How y'all doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Wow, a lot to talk about. Trump is speaking right now. We got, really, I just wanted to see your guys' thoughts on Warner Brothers telling shareholders that the Netflix deal is better than the Paramount offer. Is it all done? Is it all she wrote? I know we still got to go through regulatory approval, right? But man, I'm not happy about this. Smooth Operator, member of the channel for 40 months. Thank you. I appreciate you being a longtime supporter of the channel, my friend. And I look, I know a couple of y'all are getting value out of this, especially if you've been tuning in. The AMC price at $1.82 is not a surprise to you one bit. And it's not because there's shills and shorts and manipulation and yada, yada, yada. It's as expected is the best way I can say it. The nicest way I could say it. Let me see if I can speed up this stream setting a little bit so we're not... I don't know if I can change it now. I wanted very low latency, but it's just set to normal, so it is what it is. I think I got a tech coming out tomorrow from Google Fiber because we've been having these intermittent problems of the live streams blinking out for a minute. I mean, for a few seconds. So, you know, if the live stream has a problem, I got a tech coming out tomorrow. They're supposedly going to be upgrading my service from 2 gigabyte to 3 gigabyte. You'd think 2 gig would be enough to do a damn live stream. Yuka Frita, what's up? How you doing? Meagle. I said quiet in here's. We got him in here tonight. C. Bertman, Small Living Space. Pond Prowler Adventures. Howdy, howdy. Active Rehab, good evening. MotoGP says AMC is a dead cat. We were talking about this, guys. If, you know, look, I don't put most of my AMC DD on YouTube or even X, really, because I don't have time to deal with the haters and the blockers. You know, he hurt my feelings with his DD, with his big DD. He hurt me right up the ass. I just talk plainly, and if I say something, I'm pretty damn sure about what I'm saying. I don't just type things out to get a reaction, and I hate being wrong. You should know that about me. So, you know, I'll stay quiet if I don't think I'm going to be right. When I put something out there, I'm not doing it to make someone else feel bad, to scare anybody out of the trade. It's really actually what I believe. And I believe that these lenders are going to drive the price down to get the optimal exchange rate on the notes. After the vote, we've known about this since July. After the vote, there's between 50 and 100 and 105, something like that, million shares going to go to these lenders. And there is a measurement period going on right now where that exchange rate is going to be determined. And there's a collar on the rate depending on the price of the stock. It's the average VWAP over the measurement period after the vote. How many days is the measurement period? I couldn't figure that out. It's nowhere in the documents. They always leave some mystery to keep us guessing. And I don't like that, but it is what it is. I'm guessing 21 trading days. That's my guess. I'll just tell you, I'm guessing. I don't know. Could be 20 calendar days for all I know. But 21 trading days would take us till about the middle of January. The collar on that exchange rate is between $1.50 and $2.75. Average VWAP during the period. So what benefits a lender? I always think, I've learned the hard way from watching all these trades, follow the money and don't trust the lenders. It's not the company that's screwing you. It's the lenders trying to get the best for themselves that they can. We saw Antara do it. We've seen Discovery and Pentwater get shares from exchangeable notes before in 2024 and immediately sell them. We saw Discovery do it again in July of 2025. And I bet you Pentwater already sold their shares too. But now all that's behind us. We're in this post-vote phase. They're going to get more shares. There's going to be more debt wiped out. I forget what it is, 140 million. They're going to get shares. And it is in their best interest, the lender, to get the price as low as possible to get the best rate. They'll get the most shares if they can drive it down to $1.50 average. Now, I've been talking with the Discord. You know, we've been kind of saying since July to ourselves, this thing is going to $1.50, more than likely. Not because market cap, valuation, dilution, blah, blah. Forget all that. Manipulation, no. I mean, maybe all of that, but follow the money. The lenders get the best deal for themselves if they can push the price down to $1.50. They get the maximum shares. And then what? They can get those shares, let the price come up and sell them. Or they could be shorting right now, which is also probably happening. They're shorting because if they could short at 220, 210, $1.90, $1.85, they're going to get the shares at $1.50 if they keep pushing it down. And they can immediately close the shorts when they get their share delivery. So they're in a risk-free position. Look, this is a lot of guessing for me, but every guess that I'm making that I just walked through with you is in the damn documents from July. The framework is there. I'm not making that up. We've all known about it. A lot of people don't want to talk to you guys about it. We've been talking about it here for a long time because it is, in my opinion, a most likely outcome that the lenders are going to drive the price down. And drive it down they did, ladies and gentlemen. God damn, what a bloodbath. I know people are on Twitter and they're just trying to fuck with you. They're trying to get you to sell. They don't need you to sell. They don't care. They need you to buy, actually, is what they need. I'm starting to think that some of these pumper accounts are paid by the lenders. That's what makes the most sense. They don't need you to sell. They're going to short. They need you to buy. Because if you buy, you keep the price higher and give them a better deal. They're going to get their shares at $1.50. The shorting will continue, I think, until they get the price that they want or until somebody big steps in and says that's enough. And I sure don't know who's going to do that. So, no, they don't need you to share. Quit with the nonsense. They don't need you to sell. They need you to buy. And I'm really starting to think some of these people that say they need you to sell, I'm buying more. Here's my receipts. I bought more. I'm starting to think those people are in bed with the lenders because that is what the lenders want. They want you to buy. Keep that price up so they can get the best short possible. Does any of that make sense? I mean, I know this is topsy-turvy talk. No one else is talking about this. They need you to buy. They need you to buy. They always need you to buy. What happens after they push the price down? I don't know. That's still a little bit foggy to me. In an ideal world, AMC manages to find enough liquidity to squeeze through Q1 and doesn't have to sell any shares at all, even though right now they're capped. You guys know that, right? They're capped at 25 million shares is the most they can sell. I know I saw on Twitter today, reverse split is happening by the end of December. No, it's not. You got to have a vote for a reverse split. So calm down, Francis. There's not going to be any reverse split in December. They have to have a vote. It's Delaware rules. But other people are, 500 million shares dilution incoming. No, that's not going to happen either. It's not going to happen like that. The company can't dilute more than 25 million shares for 6 months. Why do you think I'm worried about the cash in Q1? They have really no ability to raise cash, which again is why I think they sold their Hycroft. I know it's an unfortunate series of events, but if I'm Sean Goodman, I'm looking at Q1 box office, no ability to raise cash with shares, saying we're potentially fucked. We got a high risk liquidity situation here if things don't go perfectly. And Adam, we need to get 24 million extra in. Let the million of warrants ride, but we got to do something. I think that's the talks that are happening. But what happens after the lenders get their shares? Let's circle back to that. They will either use them to close shorts, which would be fine. And stop, you guys, lenders, stop with the fucking shorting. Let the price run up, for God's sake. Or maybe if they're not shorting, like let's say I'm wrong, they're not shorting. This is not the lenders doing this. Because it could be anybody shorting, right? It's probably not you guys selling. I agree with that. This is probably not retail selling. The other thing that they could do if the lenders aren't shorting, or even if they are, once they're done and they've locked in their optimal exchange rate and they've got their shares, they could either use them to close shorts, or they could just say, now let's let the price run up. Let's get these apes excited about Q2. Let's push the Q2 narrative, get them really excited, run the price up to $3, $4. Again, they need you to buy so they can unload 100 million shares. The lenders. This is how I see it. So every time I see someone saying on social media, saying they need you to sell, I'm buying, I'm kind of thinking that person's paid for by the lenders at this point. I'm probably wrong. I mean, that's a grand conspiracy, right? But the lenders are the only ones that are benefiting here in the next few months. AMC's hands are tied. They can't do anything. They can't sell shares. They got no cash. They got to get through this damn note exchange. We'll wipe a little bit of debt off the board, 140 million or so. Save a couple $1 million off the quarterly interest expense at the cost of 100 million shares, probably. That's a ouchie to me, giving lenders 100 million shares at $1.50. I mean, it just sucks. It's unfortunate that we're where we're at, but we're at where we're at, which is why I left the trade in November of 2024. All of this we've talked about now for over a year. People in the comments, a year, 13 months ago, Tony, you don't understand this trade. You don't understand the market. I don't understand why you believe what you believe. I just read the filings. That's it. I read the filings. I apply no emotion and rational analysis. And I try and think like the CFO and the fucking lenders, which I hate. The damn lenders. Anya says he sold Hycroft a little bit too early. Hycroft at, what it closed at today, Anya? I think it hit $15 today, right? I told y'all we were going long Hycroft around earnings when it was around $6-7 around then. It hit $15.49 today. I also have SLV. I don't know how high silver and Hycroft are going, so I'm not giving you any trading advice. We just pushed through and we've created a new supply zone, although the candle kind of finished right in that supply zone. So we'll see. I mean, if silver keeps going up, Hycroft will keep going up. And there was that meeting with Hycroft yesterday, the end of year report, where they told us now the technical report we were expecting in December is now going to be in Q1, which is fine. It's science, guys. What are you going to do? Got to wait on the science. You got to get all those drill results in. Update the resource. Let's find out how much gold and silver we have measured, indicated, and inferred now. Now what are we cooking with? I love this. I love this especially for all the Hycroft people that were diehard believers like Checkmate and Peter Hahn. You know, even I think Chris Sojka were buying big down here at $2. Not me. I wasn't buying big down here. I wish I was. We waited all the way until we had some confirmed new buys from Eric Sprott, and still the price has doubled since then. I mean, come on, what are you going to do? Gotta love silver and gold. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. He did sell Hycroft a little too early on you. I get it. I get the complaint. But nothing is for sure. Nothing is certain about what's going to happen with Hycroft, with silver, with gold. What I do think is certain in my best analysis is AMC is going to have a pretty bad cash burn in Q1. I don't say that to scare you. I don't say that to make you sell. I don't care what you do with your shares. I'm not in the trade. I'm looking for optimal timing for an entry, which is why I'm watching it. But I think they're looking at a cash burn, and they said, we got to get this money on the books. And we don't know what's going to happen, but we know Eric Sprott's ready to buy the shares right now. And we can get out pretty much break even and keep a million warrants. Look, if Hycroft goes to $20, AMC makes another $10 million off those warrants. That's not too shabby. If Hycroft goes to, I don't know, 30, 40, 100. I don't have any price targets for Hycroft. I mean, 15 is already crazy. But I know some people have super high price targets for Hycroft. If they hold on to those warrants and it keeps going up, it could be a hell of a good investment still. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Sharkbite says, I'm shocked anyone even talks about AMC. I'll tell you what, Sharkbite, I cover all of the entertainment sector. I own Marcus Corp right now and Cinemark. I've been trading a little bit of Dolby. I bought Cinemark on the recent dip on the Paramount Warner Brothers news with Netflix, Warner Brothers. Had Marcus Corp for a little bit longer. I sold AMC. I swing traded it in 2024. One of my best trades of the year. We made over 1,000% total on this ticker with that big run up from the shares, selling covered calls and call options. My second half of the year in 2024 was only break even. I looked at the cash flow in November and said, I got to get out right now. Right now. Don't even wait. Break even. Fuck it. Get out. They're going to dilute. And they did. Not even a couple weeks later. I was exactly right. And I haven't been back because I couldn't find an edge to trade AMC. But I go to a lot of movies. I like movies. I like films. I review a lot of movies. And, you know, there could be an asymmetrical opportunity for AMC if the timing's right this year, just like there was in 2024. Sorry, this year, I mean 2026. But in my opinion, you got to pay attention to cash flow, box office, and potential corporate actions. They got 500 million shares now to play with. I'd want to come in right after a dilution event. Or I don't know if they'll do a reverse split, but I don't want to be in front of that. We already tried that once in 2023, and it was all we could do to get out to get out without losing our ass. So anyways, I watch AMC because I watch all of them. I'm not recommending it. I've been very clear. I haven't owned it since November 2024. Just because I don't recommend it doesn't mean you can't hold it. You do whatever you want. I'm just talking about me and why I'm deciding what I've been deciding. Same message we've been talking about for a long time. If you're not paying attention and an asymmetrical upside opportunity presents itself, which can happen in any volatile meme stock, if you're not paying attention or you're overly negatively biased, you're going to miss it. Look how many people missed this Hycroft run up. Because why? They thought Hycroft sucks. $2 to $15. But you missed it because you're too negative. I'm just saying, don't count AMC out, but you should. I'm not saying you should pile in ahead of what is coming in the next couple months. I want you to also look at the chart over the last couple of years between March and May. You'll notice the low of the year is typically between March and May. What does that coincide with? Q1 cash burn, Q1 results. Why do I keep talking about Q1 2026? Is it because I'm trying to scare you out of the trade? No, I want you to fucking pay attention. Now, if you don't care about timing of trades, if you're determined to buy it and you want to buy every day, do whatever you want. But if you want to optimize your entry, I want you to look at the chart for the last 2 years between March and May, and maybe, just maybe, old Tony might be right again, and you get a repeat with the low of the year between March and May. Maybe you don't care about getting the lowest possible price. I care. So I'm going to talk about it. And if that hurts your feelings, well, I'm sorry. Meagle says AMC going on under $1, then reverse split. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how low it could go. We actually started having that discussion today, Meagle. I was thinking in my brain, because the debt documents had that collar on the exchange rate of $1.50 to $2.75, that they would push it down to $1.50. We've been talking about that since July as a likely outcome. So, this price action doesn't surprise me one bit, not one bit. We've been talking about it in Discord for 6 months now. But what I realized today is I missed one major word. I didn't give it enough consideration, and that is during the VWAP measurement period, the exchange rate they get is the average VWAP, which tells me every day that it's above $1.50, it needs to be below $1.50 to get a $1.50 average. You know what I mean? So they could push it. They could have an incentive to push it below $1.50. I was thinking $1.50 was like our safe zone, but I'm even doubting myself on that now. Only because I don't like the lenders, and I think that the lenders will do whatever they need to do to get the best advantage for themselves. Welcome to America. The documents are written. So it is written, so it shall be. That's what Moses said, right? I don't know. Maybe I just made that up. But if it goes down there, it's, in my opinion, because the lenders the breadcrumbs were there since July. The lenders are doing their best to get the best advantage for themselves as negotiated with the company in July and agreed to in the debt indentures. Ismail says, what about buying puts to get some money back? I mean, I don't know. I haven't even looked at them, to be honest. I don't typically buy puts. It obviously would have been the smart play I don't like betting against AMC just because I actually care about people that are in this trade. Not that me buying a put is going to drive the price down. I could have made some money on it, but do I want to make money on other people's suffering? No, I don't. Not in AMC and other tickers, I will. I'll buy puts and other tickers if something gets run way up. But I haven't even looked. I don't know if the IV is too high that you could make money off puts. But the time to do it would have been to buy like maybe a 1-year put back in July when the debt documents came out. Because this was all very predictable. But I don't do that on AMC. I'll buy calls when I think it bottoms out. I'll sell calls if I'm holding a large position. If I have a position and I'm worried about something, I might buy a put to hedge my position. I mean, like that would have, if you were determined to hold and you saw the debt documents in July, a reasonable hedge would have been to buy some puts with the $1.50 strike. So you could hold your shares, and as the price drops, you're at least recouping your losses from the options. That's what the big boys do, right? That's hedging. Puts are insurance if you want to hold your position. But the time to act is way behind us. Anya says, after yesterday's video, I realized Diane Garrett knows her stuff. Yeah, I forget what her background is, Anya. I don't know if she has a degree in geology. I don't think she does, but she might. But she definitely knows her stuff, and she's been in the industry for a long time, and she knows the right people. This has always been a good team at Highcroft. I know the whole negativity around it. I get it, but it doesn't take away from the team. It doesn't take away from the fact Eric Sprott was involved, and the people that really had faith in that made out like a fucking bandit buying at the bottom. I wish that was me. WOPR, this is about a 4-pack of the Guinness. It's not as good as a tap pour, but it's got that little nitrogen ball in there. Markham says, so what, $1.50, then AA going to turn it around? Look, this is kind of like the gray area for me. I wish I could tell you I knew exactly what was going to happen in Q1. I don't know that. I have multiple threads of potential outcomes. We've got a multiverse here. I can tell you what I'd like to see as the most optimal outcome, where nobody gets Thanos snapped. The optimal outcome would be Q4 ends up okay. Q1 ends up a little better than I thought, than I'm thinking. Cash burn is a little less than I'm thinking. AMC negotiates with the lenders not to turn the screws on them and let them squeak by in Q1 without a cash raise, even though liquidity is going to get really tight. Mr. Lender, please, sir, just let us get to Q2. You know it's going to be better. If they can squeeze through without any equity raised to cover liquidity, then I think things start getting better in Q2. That is why I think there is a 6-month restriction on AMC being able to sell shares. I think the lenders want to give, I mean, if you got a different due diligence, let me know in the chat. The 6-month restriction on AMC to not sell more than 25 million shares is not to protect you. You know that, right? It's to protect the lenders. That no one cares about you. I'm just being blunt here. They care about preserving liquidity, not letting the company go bankrupt. And the lenders negotiated a sweet little addendum there where AMC can't fuck up their play by diluting massively. So the lenders want 6 months to be able to sell their 100 million shares that they're about to get in a few weeks. So in my mind, in the best possible outcome scenario, they would want it. Everybody in the world is incentivized to let the price go up into bullishness over Q2. That's what I hope happens. I have a lot of much worse scenarios, and I'm sure you've seen them on social media from other people. I'm not talking about the other worst scenarios on social media. I'm not. I might talk about them in Discord, but I'm not a fear mongerer. Yes, there are multiple possible ways this could go. I'd like to believe the most optimal outcome will happen, but I cannot guarantee it. Diane has a PhD in engineering and a master's in mineral economics from University of Texas. Well, how about that, Anya? So she has a degree in economics from UT Austin. So do I. Diane, we're like diploma buds. We're even alma mater buds. How about that? I know a lot of people say Tony doesn't know anything. He's just a failed actor. Like literally, if you took a dancing class and then went out to a nightclub, are you a failed professional dancer? My degree is in economics. My minor is in finance and banking. I worked 15 years for a Fortune 100 company as an engineering manager. After that, I got divorced and just chilled for about 10 years and did a lot of fun shit. Traveled, took some dancing lessons, took some acting lessons. Enjoyed my time, trying new things, getting out of my shell. These people, man. Spending time with my family and finding Scarlett, finding the wife. You know what? You know what those dancing lessons brought to me? A hot little Texas redhead. How about that? And now we've been going strong for something like 10 years. She was just talking to me tonight before she went to work at the hospital. She's like, Tony, how did you know what type of ring to buy me? Or did you look at my Instagram or whatever she had? Where do they put pictures of stuff? No, I don't. I didn't look. I'm just good like that. I know you, babe. I know what you like. I know what's classy, you know. Pom Prowler says you've ruined Karen with the screwball whiskey. Man, the end of the 2025 drinking ban is just about done, Pom Prowler, and we're going to refill the bar in January. I know I'm having a beer right now. It's just one, but I'm going to refill the bar with some bourbon, probably some screwball. Let's get this new year started right. What if AMC offered free movies and then raised their prices on food, gets people back in the theaters? Well, it's kind of like what they're doing with the Stranger Things. Stranger Things is free on December 31st and January 1st. It's free, but you got to buy a $20 per person food voucher. So yeah, that's a good little test run. I don't know how that works. Kevin says, 19 minutes into your stream and I finally get it and I feel much better. X is so bad, don't know who to listen to. I know. I mean, he says, I will only listen to you. I encourage you guys to listen to a lot of people, but also judge people on who is fucking right. I want you to judge me on what I said in November of 2024, why I was getting out. I want you to go look at all of the hate comments I've had to endure on X and YouTube since then. 13 months. You're going to be wrong. You're a shill. You're a bear. You're paid by the shorts. No, I can read a fucking document. It's really just that simple. Just read and don't apply emotion. And to be honest, I follow every goddamn retail ticker you can imagine. All the shit plays. I've seen what all of these lenders do in every ticker. There are very few secrets they can hide from me. There's still some. I just told the Discord today, we're going to get we, ladies and gentlemen, are all going to get a fantastic lesson in corporate finance strategy in the next 6 months. Because what AMC does between December 10th and let's say June 1st, I think is going to, it's going to teach us all about how a CFO thinks. I think they already know exactly what they're going to do. You guys know a week before they sold Highcroft, if you were watching my videos, I said, I'm not going to talk about Highcroft until they sell it. and then they sold it. Like, I kind of knew that's a good liquidity tap. I didn't really think they'd have the balls to do it, but I think Sean was that desperate. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, his job is to manage risk. Sean Goodman, his job is to manage liquidity risk. And I don't care how many dipshits tell you Q1's going to be fine. Maybe it is, but maybe it's not. It's going to be tight. No one's going to argue that, right? It's going to be tight. Sean's job is to not bankrupt the company. Sell every sacred cow you got to preserve the corporation. It's just unfortunate, but that's what it is. C12 Omega says, my 1920s, I had cancer and kidney failure. I'm 34, trying to live my life now. I'm glad you're still with us. I am. I gave 15 years to a corporation, got divorced because I was never in the country. I worked about 18 hours a day. I was on conference calls with Europe every morning before I went to the office. And I was in the office 10 hours. 9 hours of those were meetings. Then I'd go home and I'd be on conference calls with Asia. It wrecked my life for 15 fucking years. And I needed some years to chill and try some new things. Get my head back on straight. Figure out what is really a priority in life. Like I lost half the time of my first son growing up because I wasn't even in the country. Thank God, when my second son was born, that's when I left the corporation. But yeah, I'm glad you're still with us. And guys, and I know I talked about acting and dancing. What else? Oh, guitars. Try and learn something new. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. I've told this story many times. The first audition I went to, I probably tried to pull over 20 times because I was going to throw up. It's not comfortable for me. Same thing with dancing. When I would go country dancing, you know how many hot Texas women there are here? But I was one of those people that I needed a 6-pack to even put one floor out on the hardwood floor out there. But you apply yourself, you challenge yourself, you learn something new. Maybe your thing that you learn new in 2026 is how to read a balance sheet, how to project cash flows. Maybe you take up skydiving, Challenge yourself. Get out of your rut. And especially you single guys. Go do something you enjoy. The women will follow someone who has purpose in life. If you're just sitting home playing games, you're going to end up divorced or you're going to end up single. Go learn something fucking new. What did Chris Rock say? I already heard that story. Tell me a new fucking story. You got to have some new stories. Got to have some new stories. Go do something fun. Anya says, you even followed Beyond. Yeah, I followed Beyond, Anya, not because I'm in love with the company, but because I wanted to learn from that event. That was cataclysmic what happened with Beyond, Wolf Speed, all of these, Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, I traded some of them and made money on some of them, but it's because I don't follow what social media says to do on them. Pond Prowler, have a good night. Check out Pond Prowler Adventures too, my friends. He's a longtime viewer of the channel. Him and his wife actually came here to Texas about a week or two ago. I got to have lunch with them. I love doing that. If y'all are ever in Texas, let me know. And he's got, they live in California. He's got a YouTube channel where he films himself going out on the ocean on a pond prowler, which is not a large boat, if you know what I mean. And I hope you continue to be safe out there, my friend. BW says, do you think if you didn't have that job, you would still be married to your ex? Almost certainly, BW. Yeah, I mean, you can't hold a marriage together. It's very difficult when one or both of you are out of the country 6 months out of the year. And on top of that, she worked at the same company I did. She was also an engineer. I was an engineering manager. My degree is economics. I'm not an engineer by degree, but I was an engineering manager. And she was working the same fucking amount of hours as I was. We both are type A workaholics. Between that and the traveling for work, it was not conducive to spending the quality relationship time that you should. And yeah, that probably would have been different if I was not traveling. Probably would have been different, but I can't go back and change things. Love Star says, I think AMC does need a new CEO, though nothing against AA, but the company needs a new face for investors. Yeah, I mean, look, he had a stroke. I think he's done the best job he can in a bad box office situation. It's a bad box office situation. It is what it is. Would I have liked them to cut cost more? Yeah. But I'm going to say what I've said before about the new CEO thing. I want one of y'all to tell me, what is a new CEO going to do differently? You've got long leases that you're locked into. They're closing as many as they can as they come up. You're hampered, you're constrained by box office supply. What is a new guy going to do? I'm just not saying that to be argumentative or defensive. I don't know. What's a new guy going to do? Is he going to have the balls to fight? Or is he just going to, are they going to bring in someone new to put a bow on it and do a out of court restructuring? Like, be careful what you wish for. I'm not joking. They could easily bring in someone to clean this thing up, and it might not go the way you want. I'm just saying. Adam Aaron, love him or hate him, has been fighting to keep the company out of bankruptcy. He's pulled off at least 3 miracles. All detrimental to Common. I get it. But I'm telling you, you go ask any independent person not involved in this play, maybe a bond trader or somebody, they're going to tell you, yeah, it was all detrimental to Common, but it was a fucking miracle. At least 3 times. They pulled a rabbit out of the hat and the company didn't file Chapter 11. 2021, 2023, and here now in July 2025 when they pushed all the debt maturities to 2029, 2030. He just bought the company 4 more years, 4 more years. As long, they just got to get through Q1 right now. But I don't know what a new guy's going to do. Who are they going to pick? What's the agenda they're going to give him? Be careful what you wish for. Try and think about it like I do. There's multiple possible outcomes. Everybody's focused. If we just get rid of him, the next guy's going to be better. The next guy could be the hatchet man, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen VPs replaced at my corporation, and I've seen them fire 1/3 of management. You never know. Unless you know what a hatchet man is, then you might know what I'm talking about. Anya says, did you know Sean Goodman's on the Highcroft board? I did. Yeah. When AMC bought enough of a position in the company back in 2022 that they got a seat on the board, and that is one of Sean Goodman's duties. I don't think it really, it's a meeting once a quarter, Anya. It's not like it's a big distraction. Gives them a little bit of inside info. Anya says, new CEO, Chapter 11. I mean, it could be probably, whether it's Chapter 11, let's go down that worst case scenarios. I'm not predicting bankruptcy, but since Anya put it in the comments, so you could have a Chapter 11, or you could just do like a Beyond, Anya, BYND. They didn't do a Chapter 11. They just did a out-of-court restructuring where they sat down with the lenders and said, we don't want to go to court. We don't want to file Chapter 11. We give up. We can't pay you. Things are not going to get better with this debt load. We're going to recapitalize the company, give you all of the equity. We'll give retail traders a smidge. We'll give them 2% of whatever's left. But you guys will get the company. And then it'll be publicly trading again. Or maybe they take it private. I'm just saying it might not be Chapter 11. There's multiple ways it could go, but a new CEO, there's no guarantee in my mind that he's going to do what people are hoping. I don't know. It's an unknown. I'm just going to say it's an unknown for me. I don't have any, please let us get a new CEO. That'll be our saving grace. I don't know. Maybe it'll be the devil. There's really, the choices are very limited right now for AMC. Sell Odeon. You can't break leases. You're going to get the shit sued out of you. They're stuck with leases. They need more box office. What else are they going to do? What else is a new CEO going to do? Just anybody tell me that. The only answer I've gotten to that question, someone said, do anything else. Okay, that's not an answer. That just means to me you're complaining about something, but you haven't put any thought into it. Do anything else. What does that fucking mean? A lot of people like to complain, but they haven't thought through. Just tell me. Write me a letter. Write me a X DM. Tell me what you think a new CEO could do differently, given the constraints of AMC's balance sheet and the being handcuffed by box office. Zanny says a new CEO is not going to help. I don't see how it can. Given the constraints, I don't see how a new CEO can help. It's just going to be one new guy to complain about. Anya says Sean Goodman suggested AMC invest in Highcroft. No. I do think it probably was Mudrick that suggested AMC invest in Highcroft. But I think they knew that they had a pretty good resource if people could be patient for 5 to 7 years. And because, look, the board can't make an investment. It is against their fiduciary duty to make an investment that has outsized risk. They had a pretty good idea they were going to come out okay on Hycroft. Sean got the seat when AMC bought the shares. And Adam told us in the first quarter, guys, 5 to 7 years. He told us that. Not very many people listened. All we've had is complainers. Complain, because nobody heard him say 5 to 7 years. We're at year, what? Not even close to year 4 yet, and they already broke even, and they've got 1 million warrants of optionality of potential future profit. And I think they only sold because they had very few options left, very few choices. Human Being says the whole AMC thing was a joke. Everyone got scammed. That's one way to look at it. I always counter that with, have you read the risk factors in any 10Q since 2020? Or listen to the earnings calls? Because they always, very in detailed, annoying fashion, tell you that they need to repair the balance sheet. They need to improve the debt ratios, and dilution is very probable. You'll probably lose a lot of money in this investment. I mean, they go overboard in the 10Q risk factors every quarter. And the Popcorn Project people used to tell me, oh, Tony, you can't read those risk factors. They just put that in there to scare you. No, they don't put it in there to scare you. They put it in there so that you are fully aware of the risk and so that you can't complain or sue them. And it's why we didn't make a big deal about it in 2021. I didn't give a shit about that stuff. I was here for a short squeeze, but then the company started running low on cash and running low on shares, and the economy started tanking at the end of 2022. We started having to pay attention to the financials and start making some different decisions about the trade. So I don't know what was the scam part. The people that are telling you we will win or shorts are scared. Look at the annual negative free cash flow. That right there tells you that after they get their operating income, pay their interest, and then pay the CapEx, the company's losing what? $400 million a year? Where does that money come from? That's automatic dilution. Oh, but Adam said from Q2 to Q4, we're going to be cash flow positive. Well, no shit. But you don't want to talk about Q1 in this year, and you don't want to talk about it next year. That's why these people are fucking pissing me off. But Adam said, guys, don't sleep on this. Adam said Q2 to Q4, we're going to be cash flow positive. No shit, Sherlock. But you don't want to talk about Q1, do you? Because what? Is it going to be negative 400 million cash flow? You don't want to talk about that because it ruins the whole narrative of these people. When you have negative annual free cash flow, the company has to dilute to raise money to cover liquidity. On top of that, the company's been very clear that the balance sheet needs to be repaired. They have negative 900 million in working capital, negative 1.7 billion in shareholder equity. I'm not saying this to be negative. These are just numbers. Adam and Sean talk about them all the time. So do the credit rating agencies. Like, I'm not being negative here. I'm just telling you what these other people won't tell you. The debt ratios are fucked. Negative 1.7 billion shareholder equity is functionally bankrupt. They have to fix it. So I don't know if you were scammed. You bought in and held a company that is actively trying to repair its balance sheet, and you ignored what they're trying to tell. You ignored what they're telling you they need to do. And I'm going to tell you right now, just so you're not surprised, they're going to continue repairing the balance sheet. Listen to what I'm saying. They just got 500 million new shares. They are going to continue repairing the balance sheet. How do you do that? Equitize the debt. What does that mean, Tony? Do y'all know what that means? It means Tony's a bear. No, God damn it. I get shocked every day. I read so many posts on social media and I start typing and I'm like, nope, don't do it. Don't fucking do it, Tony. Just let them go. You can't save them all. I can't help everybody. Because if I even try and talk about what I just said with you guys on social media, I will get eviscerated because people are in denial. People are in denial. And if you even try and have a rational due diligence discussion, oh, block that guy. We can't have him upsetting the apple cart. Even though he's been right, if we would have listened to him in November of 2024, we wouldn't be down another 65%. Don't listen to that fucker, Tony Denaro. Do whatever you want. I don't care if you listen to me or not. But if you're complaining about dark pools or off exchange trading or shorts, or they want you to sell, none of that matters. None of that matters. They're telling you that on social media, all these motherfuckers, because they don't want you to look at the annual negative free cash flow. They don't want you to look at the shareholders' equity. They don't want you to understand what that means. I don't say negative shareholder equity to scare you. I'm telling you, Adam and Sean are aware of it. They know they need to fix it. It's how you get a better credit rating. It's going to be fixed. And you better understand what I'm saying. How are they going to do that? Are you going to be in for a rough ride this year? Sparky, what's up? He says value has exploded on Highcroft. They were way down 6 months. Sparky has gone from $2 to $15. You could have 7x'd your money, my friend. He said they had the discipline to pull the trigger and they raised much needed cash. Yes, sir. Ryan says, what stocks do you own? I go over all of them in Discord, Ryan. I don't think it really matters what I own for sake of YouTube. I make videos. A lot of times if I'm buying a stock, I'll tell you in the entertainment sector right now, I traded profitably last year. I did not own AMC for the last 12 months, 13 months. But I did have profitable trades in MCS and IMAX. Right now, I sold both of them at their peak, waited for them to come back down. Right, I've rebought here recently MCS, Marcus Corp, and Cinemark, just because I think box office is going to be good, and these are profitable companies with pretty good balance sheets and paying dividends and doing share buybacks. There's like a lot of good things going on. AMC is on my watch list for a asymmetrical opportunity, but I'm not going to jump in front of a Gatling gun either. Like I'm not a charity. BW says, for those that have been stuck for 5 years, what do we do with our shares? We're all massively down. I know, BW. I mean, we got to have better box office or things are not going to get better. That's that much I can tell you. So first you got to do a gut check. What do you think box office is going to do over the next year or two? And even if you think that AMC is going to, let's say the box office, I think they, by my rough numbers, they need about, let's say I don't know, 10 billion, 10.5 to make a decent profit. Even if they made a few $100 million, that's not enough to fundamentally change the balance sheet. There's still going to be equitization of debt, i.e., the D word. Some people on X get mad if I say dilution, so I'm trying to use the words the company uses. And then they'll say, why are you saying equitization of debt? You're scared to say dilution? Make up your fucking mind what you get offended by. Even if we think that the company is going to get marginally profitable by 2027, they are telling us they need to fix the balance sheet. And that's a fact. They do. They got to get a better credit rating. They got to drop the interest rates. We're at all-time high interest rates on the debt right now. I know people are telling you the interest rates are coming down. They don't understand what the fuck they're talking about. The interest expense is going to come down a little bit in Q1, but the interest expense is not going down. I don't care how many, it has not been going down. It's just been going up every fucking quarter. Why? Because of the rates. Debt's coming down. That's not even a question, but look at the interest expense. It gets bigger every quarter. Is that evidence the interest is getting better? Debt's been going down, and interest expense every quarter is still going up. It was at an all-time high in the most recent quarter. These fucking people are lying to you on social media. Oh, it's going to get better in Q1. Yes, it is, because the Fed dropped the rates a little bit. The adjustable note will adjust a little bit, and we'll have some debt exchanged for 100 million shares. So yeah, it'll go down, somewhere similar to where it was in these previous quarters. And in order for it to go down more, they're going to have to trade for more shares, pay off more debt with shares, or have enough positive income that they can get a better credit rating and renegotiate that shit. But that's a year or two out. We're going to be stuck with 100 million plus of interest expense for a while, I think. Vic says, you probably covered this a million times, but what are you looking for in order to be a buyer of AMC? I haven't said it a million times, but I have said it recently. If you look at the last couple of years, there's typically a low in the chart between March and May. I'm kind of looking at that time frame, and I think we got to get through this VWAP measurement period. We got to get the exchangeable note lenders their shares. They're going to do what they got to do. I think Q2, there's going to be some excitement going into that. The big foggy area for me right now is how well can AMC thread the needle of liquidity to get through Q1? Are they going to need to do a cash raise? Even though they're limited to 25 million shares. They sold Hycroft. Is it that far-fetched to think they might go raise another 25, 30, 40 million? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. It's foggy for me the next 90 days. So I'm for sure going to wait out and see how bad Q1 is. I've already done the forecasting for Q1. I'm forecasting a cash burn that will be punitive, similar to the one a year, 12 months ago. I know other people don't agree, and that's fine if they don't agree. And we'll all circle back in May and see who had the best prediction. I'm just guessing. I'm looking at box office. I'm looking at cash flow. I'm looking at balance sheets. We're at the lowest cash we've ever been at. A year ago, we had 527 million. And they still did an equity raise. We're at 365 right now. Do you see why I'm nervous? Do you see why? Yeah, Q4 might be free cash flow positive. Fine. We had 527 a year ago and they still fucking diluted in December. Do you see why I'm a little bit nervous? Why I think these people telling you the rainbow and unicorn stories might be selling you a load of shit because they have no choice. They don't want to be honest with you. Do you see why I'm a little worried? We have less cash and we're going to have probably lower box office. I'm not saying this to be negative. Nobody is being real on social media. They don't want to offend by actually telling the truth. Anya, I'm not in IMAX right now. I'm in Cinemark and MCS. So, Vic, I think there might be an opportunity for me to jump in between March and May, but maybe before then. I want to see if I'm correct that the lenders are the ones pushing the price down right now. I want to see how far they're able to push it. And then I want to see what the Q4 box office ends up at. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to have a strong finish to Q4 and just blow out the numbers and have massive numbers go into the early part of Q1. I'd love all of that to happen so I can come to you guys with a better story. But my analysis right now is what it is based on the best info that we have. And my views about Q1 have not changed yet. If they do, I'll tell you, I'd love for them to change where I don't have to worry so much. Tiny Boat Angler, is that Karen? How did y'all know? Anya, how did you know that was Karen? Hey, Pond Prowler, you want to have a drinking contest? Well, I've only got one sip left, so I'm just teasing. Ryan says when they go under $1, will they reverse split again? I don't know if they'll go under $1. I'm not predicting that. I mean, I can't rule anything out. I'm only looking at what the lenders would benefit from. There's a certain price that the lenders get the maximum benefit from, and that is $1.50 average VWAP. I think they'll try and push it down to that. But to get an average of $1.50, you got to push it below $1.50, right? Because it started at $2. So could it go to $1? I don't know. I sure fucking hope not. I'm not making those kind of predictions. My crystal ball is not that clear. I'm already going out on a limb saying I think they're going to push it down. So far, we've been right. We've been right for days and days. And we've been predicting this since July. Anya, let me pull up my IMAX chart. I think I have my cell on there. Yeah, I got out way early, Anya, and I never got back in 2025. I got out at $24. It's at 37 right now. Their financials they're just a little bit, they're not as clean. But the great thing about IMAX is the freaking growth in Asia. I drew this demand zone once it reset itself, and I kind of said back in early 2025. If it ever comes back down, you know how I am, Anya. If it ever comes back down, I'll wait as long as it takes. I'll buy in, but it never happened. And, you know, in retrospect, looking at the chart, we probably should have also looked at this 200 moving average, seeing the bounce off of support on that and said, all right, well, it's not going back down. It pushed back through. So, you know, I don't cry over spilt milk. There's plenty of tickers to invest in. If you're still holding, you did way better than me on the trade. I think we doubled our money on this one, right? Close to it. Bought in at $15.20, $14.99, got out at $24.64. I think it'll be a fine stock going into 2026. BW says, I'm in the mood for a tearjerker. Will Hamnet do it for me? Let me talk to you guys about movies for a minute. In the past 5 days, I think I've seen 4 movies. On December 12th, we saw Hamnet. Neither one of us cried, although when the movie was over, my wife was like, Tony, go back there. I was like, what? They're all crying. I told her bring tissues because I thought she was going to cry. But there are people that will cry at Hamnet. It didn't happen to us, but there are a lot of sad moments. A lot of happy moments, but a lot of sad moments. I saw Eternity yesterday. That's that comedy about the girl who dies and goes to heaven and she has to choose between her 2 husbands. That was pretty funny, but also pretty serious. Funny in the beginning, serious in the end. 5 Nights at Freddy's today just to check the box. It was okay. I have a long-time love of that game because my kids used to play it. Dad, this game, come play this game. It's really scary. You know, when they were little bitty. And then we have The Housemaid booked for tomorrow. And then we'll figure out, you know, once I get my 4 free movies on Friday, we'll figure out a time to go see Avatar and SpongeBob. So, sad movie. Hamnet, it might work for you. Palm Prowler says, how many are... I'm just doing 1 drink, Palm Prowler. I'm still technically in my no drink 2025, but we are in December. We're at the end of the year. It's holiday season. So 1 pint, that's it. I still got 2 or 3 in the fridge. It was a 4-pack, yeah. Anya says, IMAX is one of my winners, 150%. Now, Anya, if you weren't a member of this channel, would you have ever bought IMAX? Because people always say, Tony never gives us any bangers. How many tickers have we talked about, Anya, that you've doubled your money in? I bet it's a bunch. People just say things because they don't watch or they're not in the Discord. I don't talk about every ticker on YouTube. I don't have time. I wish I did. People that want the real info are in the Discord. Eternity was really good. I actually enjoyed it. It's kind of like when you die, you go to this place called the Junction. It's like a combination train station and Courtyard Marriott, you know, at the big atrium and all the hotel rooms, and everybody comes in and they got to figure out, you got to pick your eternity. Which one do you want? And there's any flavor of eternity you want is available. That beginning was, look, they don't take themselves very seriously in this movie, and it was funny. I laughed a lot. And then when it got to the point where the wife died and she came to the Junction, and the 2 men, her first husband had been waiting for her 63 years or something like that. And her husband, second husband, who she'd been married to for 60 plus years, both of them were there in the Junction waiting for her. Now she had there's a little drama. Which one do you pick? Do you pick the one that you got married to, your first love, that died in the war, and he's handsome and he's hunky and you never really got to have the chance to spend time with him? Or do you spend eternity with the husband that was there with you through good and bad for 60 plus years and you raised kids with? That got a little bit dramatic. But they didn't drop the humor, but it just got a little bit more dramatic. You know what I mean? She was going through some stuff, trying to figure out her shit. So I didn't really know what to expect. I went in with low expectations. I was entertained. I'd say go see Eternity. I did try and buy an Avatar popcorn bucket today, but they told me not available till the 19th. I'll try again tomorrow. B-Chain says Eternity is really good. Today was my 155th movie of the year. How is there? I keep on looking, like on the app. I see people posting, you've been to 200 movies this year. How do you find that? Like, I never have been able to find that. Do they email you, or do I have to be on the computer? I have all my movies if I scroll through my list, right? Past 30 days, past 90 days, past 5 years, I can see all my movies, but it doesn't add them up for me. I don't know how y'all get that. And I don't really care to go add them up manually. He says he got an email on Monday. All right, let me see. I want that email that, hey, thanks for joining our sweepstakes. You've won the free trip to Venice. I haven't got one of those yet. Yesterday, Sunday. We're rolling the credits on 2025. Is that it? Your year in review. Man, you smoked me. How many movies did you watch? V-Chain. I'm looking for his 155th. You smoked me, bro. As of Monday, I had 79. I'll probably end 2025 with the movies we have planned in the next 2 weeks, somewhere around 90. Damn, 155. Props to you. September says, why did you want a bucket? I've bought a few. They're on the bookcase around the way. I only have bought a few. I bought the Black Adam. Then I bought the Top Gun Maverick, which is really my favorite. Just because I like Top Gun. But then I decided I'm not going to be spending 30, 40, 50 bucks on every damn popcorn bucket because I'd rather buy stock. So I stopped. But the Avatar one looks pretty cool. That big ass dragon. If I don't get it, it's not a big deal. Aber says, what eternity would you pick? Beer World, Babeland? Also, I got an email from him. I'd probably pick the redhead eternity. No, my wife would be joining me, so that wouldn't work. We'd probably be happy in the country western honky tonk eternity. Just give us a cabin with a hound dog and a honky tonk down the road with a dirt floor or a hardwood floor, doesn't matter, and a range of country music. We both like 80s, 90s, and current country western. That's how we met. That's how we spend a lot of our free time. That's how we should spend eternity. That's what I think. We used to literally go out dancing like 3 or 4 nights a week. When I was single, I'd go out 6 nights a week. BW says SpongeBob should have been released on a different weekend and not go against Avatar. Yeah, I mean, maybe the SpongeBob pulls a slightly younger crowd. I don't know. Did I get tattoos? No, I'm not going to. Look, I don't need to get a tattoo to impress my audience, September. I don't think a real man needs to do that. I'm not here to impress anybody. Seems a bit silly. Am I born in Texas? I am not born in Texas. My family is from Texas. My great-grandfather helped build the state capitol here. So my family's been in Texas as long as Austin's been around. But my dad was in the military, so I grew up all over the U.S. We would come here for summer visits. And I came here to go to university and stayed. So I've been here since the 80s. My wife is born in Texas. Gerald, what's up? He says, how much lower can this go? Seems like reverse split's on the way. I don't know about a reverse split. I don't rule anything out. I'm not predicting one, but I'm not saying it'll never happen. I don't know. Depends on box office. I'll just say this. Like, I do remember Adam said a couple years ago, the stock's trading under $5 and the institutions don't like that. And therefore we need to get the price up. Why hasn't he said that now? I mean, I remember things and then I look for inconsistencies like, are we going to hear that again? Why hasn't it been said yet? I know they couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything anyways because they didn't have shares. They wanted to get that out of the way. But maybe. How low is it going to go? We've been talking about that since July. I don't think I'll be wrong. Why do I like trading all the retail tickers? I think you should be trading blue chip and value plays, companies with a long history of growing revenues and growing profits. And I've tried to make videos about them and nobody watches. If I had a channel where we had 20,000 value investors, that is all we would talk about because believe me, the drama, the angst, the heartache, the hate is much less. But nobody wants to fucking watch those videos or my channel's not optimized for it for whatever reason. So I put those videos out from time to time and I say often, make sure the bulk of your portfolio is in relatively risk-free investments. You know, even a index matching ETF. If you don't have time to babysit stocks, there's nothing wrong with trading an index ETF. I did that most of my life. And then what I have always done, and I still do all my life, nothing new here, is take my extra money, you're going to the races money, and speculate. You know, I could go to Vegas or I could buy a meme stock. I'm not putting my entire portfolio in one fucking stock. That is the highest risk. That is, in my mind, dumb. People tell you don't diversify, put it all on GameStop. Idiotic advice. Just straight up dumbass advice. Understand what diversification risk is, lack of diversification risk. If you choose to ignore it, then that's fine. Own it. I won't hassle you. But I'm not ever going to be the person to tell you only buy one stock. And I'm not going to be the person to tell you to ignore risk either. You should be paranoid about risk and figure out ways to mitigate it. That means size your position. Size your position. Size your position according to the risk. A lot of people make a lot of money on highly volatile stocks, self-included. I'm not trying to become a millionaire off of one ticker. If it happens, cool. I got lucky. I'm not putting enough money in these to become a millionaire. I made in 2021 on AMC, I don't remember how much it was, $50,000 off of a couple $1,000 investment. And I sold, and I started my channel because Trey and Matt were not telling people to sell. They were telling people to keep buying call options, and that shit pissed me off. That's how this channel started. And yeah, I used some of that money, and I bought Bitcoin and Ethereum and made even more on that. And I bought some more AMC and gave some of that back. A little bit. It's not a big deal. We made so much money in the first part of 2021. It didn't matter if you bought a little AMC back. But, you know, I didn't grow up trading meme stocks. This has been a very fun learning experience. Learning all the shit in the gutter and the sewer, the swamp of what lenders do and how everybody on social media lies to you. And maybe I can assimilate all that. I'm just one of you. I'm not a hater. I don't go in and attack people. I'm not toxic. I don't insult them and call you baggies. I trade the same damn stocks you do. I just manage my risk a little differently. I want to see you win. I want to see you make money. I don't want to see you go in the red. That makes me very unpopular, and that's fine. So hopefully that makes sense. I often trade these stocks, but I'm managing my position size, and I'm not ever scared to sell. V-Chain says there's an interview with AA where he said he has something coming, but he can't say anything till January. Yeah, the MNPI. I'm curious what that is, just like you. Hopefully it'll be something good. Like I said, I think, you know, the company already knows exactly what they're going to do to get through Q1. I think everything's already laid out. We're along for the ride. The documents have been written since July. I've been telling the Discord since July what was going to happen. We've been 100% correct. And I think we will be correct about the Q1 cash burn. I think we'll be correct. Q2 gets better. I think they'll thread the needle, hopefully, and get through Q1 okay. Cross fingers and pray to the gods. But could there be some other secret announcement that I can't predict? Lord, I sure hope so. V-Chain, I hope so. I can't make videos about it because what do I know? You want people hanging me for promising something that doesn't show up? I just say, yeah, he said it. He said it, and I'm listening and I'm waiting just like you are. Chris says, I'm in the red now because of AMC, not sure what to do. I don't know, you know. There's a lot of conversations that could be had about what to do. We're not going to do them tonight. I know that in 2023, when the AMC Ape split happened, and after all that debacle, we helped people that were 6 figures in the red repair their position just by trading AMC in the next 12 months. But it required actively managing your position, selling covered calls, buy the dips, sell the rips. It required letting go of everything you were taught about never sell. That's not palatable to some people, but it is factual that there were people in our discords, me and Mediocre both, that had 3, 4, 5, 6-figure losses that repaired it with AMC as it's going down. How do you do that? Stop listening to people telling you don't sell. If it goes up, fucking sell. You got to know the right times to buy. You got to know the right times to sell. Look, I struggled with it too. We all struggle with it at some point. Gerald says people are getting 20% or more just buying ETFs, and they don't have to worry about anything, Gerald. They sleep at night. It's a great long-term plan. There is nothing wrong with buying ETFs. Look, Gerald, also, I've been swing trading GameStop for several years since the forward split. I've only had profitable trades. I'm more in the green on GameStop than these people that have been holding it in the red and buying every day for the last 5 years. Even though my position is smaller than theirs, it doesn't matter because my profits are more than them. I don't have to wake up every day to a red portfolio. I'm still in the green on GameStop. I'm well in the green on GameStop on my warrants and my shares. But I'm very particular about when I buy. I might wait a year to buy GameStop. Anya says, is it too late to get on higher electric prices due to AI? I don't know, Anya. I'm not a big utility buyer. Wrong person to ask. Although I did do a review today in my free time on TELUS. TELUS adjacent to that AI stock that we're trading, Railtown. TELUS had a fuck ton of corporate actions. I thought I'd just sit down and write out all my notes, but no, this was very complex. All the shit that they're doing. So I'll get that video out in the morning. Not because I'm thinking any of y'all should buy a phone company in Canada, just because it's interesting and it is adjacent to the AI. They're partners with the AI company that we're trading. So we'll see. That video will be out tomorrow. I can't tell you about electric prices, but Anya, watch that video tomorrow because TELUS is doing a lot. They refinanced some of their debt. They paid off some of their debt. They announced share buybacks, and they are refocusing to improve free cash flow. So I think they're ready to take the next step in improving their fundamentals. It's already a massive company. Massive. Free cash flow over $2 billion. Free cash flow annual, $2 billion. Revenue, $20 billion. Yeah, I mean, it's a phone company. It's not super sexy, right? It's not like an NVIDIA or a Palantir. Utilities and phone companies can be boring, but they're solid over the long run, typically. Gerald says, I took a 32,000 loss on AMC, made it back with Carvana. I'm glad you made it back. Carvana's been a screamer. Congrats. I am worried about Carvana being a scam. So hopefully if you made it back, you've been peeling off a little bit of profits. But I'm not going to make videos calling it a scam because I want to see everybody make money until it's too late. But oh man, it scares me to death. $485, $3 to $485. Something seems a little fishy here. I'm just saying, just between you and me. Don't worry, I'm not going to make videos saying Carvana's a scam, but it probably is. All right, ladies and gents, I think that's probably enough for tonight. It's just about 10 o'clock here. It's still a work day tomorrow. Thursday, we got 2 business days to finish out this week. Then we go into the holiday week. I'll be traveling for the holidays, so we might have some remote live streams. Might see a different background. I'll be around though. It's not like I won't get in a video here or there or a live stream. It might seem a little quiet. Anya says, can I say this? Crook's in charge. I made some money but never got back in on Carvana. Yeah, I don't know, Anya. I've looked at their numbers, but I haven't done a deep dive on them. It's just been fascinating, this turnaround though. $4 cost average on Carvana. Unbelievable. Congratulations. We love to see that on any ticker. Look, this is not a one ticker channel. We're not the GameStop cult. Whatever ticker you guys like, if you're making money on it, you're going to get a pat on the back. Congratulations. A gentle reminder to peel a little bit of profits off. Pay yourself. Let the house money ride. And if it's working for you, keep on holding on to it. But don't forget to pay yourself along the way a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tonight. I wish we could have talked more about Netflix and Warner Brothers. Maybe we'll do that on a video tomorrow and then come back and reconvene. I'm kind of upset, to be honest. I don't want to see Netflix get it, but what do I know? I don't trust them. Smooth operator, thank you. Let's go out with the GameStop song, Up and to the Right. GameStop was a real gem today. My GameStop position buys in the low 20s, 2020, 2034, 2065. I like $23. And I bought some warrants. I don't know if when it was down here, I don't know if I put it on the chart. I put it in Discord, but I was buying warrants down here, 250 to 270. So I'm liking this GameStop action. Let's go out with a little bit of Up and to the Right. Have a good night, guys.
Up and to the right. Up and to the right. Up and to the right.
Hello, millionaires. Short screenplays where fortunes flip. GameStop's journey, an epic trip. From humble roots to the moon we fly. A company's dream will amplify. Ready warriors, keyboards in hand. With their eyes on the prize, they took a stand. No one's selling, we're here to fight. How does it go? Up and to the right. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. It's us on the right, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, the last is in sight. already won. With every share we'll never stop. Investors say we love the stock. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. It's not on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right. Up and to the right. We're in for the ride. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right.
Surprise!
We're gonna win.